Hey everyone, it's Jim Classic again, and guess what? It's December, which means Christmas is coming up. And also Star Wars again, just like last year. I don't think that's going to be connected all the time, but yeah, once again, we got Christmas and Star Wars coming up. However, that is not going to be my topic for this blog. I'm doing another toy review. So I don't know why I brought up Star Wars, because I am doing a Transformers toy review. For today's Transformers toy review, I am going to be reviewing the Decepticon from the Transformers Robots in Disguise series, Bisk. Bisk is one of the first Transformers you got to see in the first episode of Robots in Disguise, or maybe it was like the second or third episode, I don't really remember, but he was one of the first Decepticons you saw, and Bisk is actually really freaking cool. Like, as far as the Decepticon goes, that's not Beast Wars. His robot mode is a lobster. He's got these really cool clamps for hands, and you can see the wheel well right there. You know, he's got these, they're kind of short, stubby legs, much like Quillfire, but they're still cool. They kind of fit with him. I mean, for fuck's sake, he has a little lobster tail right there on his bum. Alright, little mini lobster tail right there. His face is just bonkers. Like, his face is clearly just a frickin' robo-lobster. I thought he had a movable jaw because it looks separate, but it's not really the case. But just look at that. His head sculpt is so... wow. It's wacky. It's wacky wow. That's what it is. I love it. Bisk was one of the first Decepticons you saw in Robots in Disguise, and he kind of set the precedent for the remaining Decepticons that you were going to see, all animal-based. And of course, he's a lobster, and his name is Bisk, so he's a Decepticon whose name is pretty much soup. Bisk does come with two weapons that attach to the top of his claws, because he can't actually hold his weapons. They peg into the top. It's got these two little blasters. You know, he's pretty cool, dual wield. They're like, they look kind of cool on him. Again, overall, he just kind of looks weird, but I do like this guy. It's just a fun robot mode and incredibly unconventional. Let's transform this guy, shall we? Our Decepticon lobster bot transforms into a really cool sports car. Like, this is not what you would expect Bisk to turn into. Is this really sharp-looking, futuristic, Cybertronian sports car. Damn, it looks really rad, actually. I love it. Transformation is kind of weird with this guy. Weird in a good way. For the most part, he snaps together well. The back section snaps in flawlessly. The front section, where the hood and the clamps are, you have to do a lot of twisting and turning and locking things into place, but you have to fiddle with it. But it was a good transformation. I do like it. And, you know, as I said, I love this vehicle mode. It reminds me of Drift, almost. I know Robots in Disguise Drift is a different type of orange sports car. I don't have that figure. I didn't like the way the toy looked. But I'm just getting a Drift vibe off of this regardless. I love the wheels. He doesn't roll very well. I guess that's one of my complaints about him. His rolling does kind of suck because everything, the wheels are so low that, you know, like just the undercarriage stuff just kind of touch the surface every once in a while, especially if you don't lock the pieces in properly. But I do like his color palette is very simple. Black for the windows, a little bit of blue for the headlights, and silver. The wheels, the tires around the rims, they are light blue, like almost a metal blue. But and some darker red. Yeah. Overall, in both robot mode and vehicle mode, he has a very simple color scheme. Unlike Quillfire, who had storage capacity within vehicle mode, Bisk does not have that I can see. So the only place to put the guns is, again, back onto the clamps. Here we go. And now we have this roadster with some heavy guns on it. So, do not drag race against this guy, okay? I mean, I love the Decepticons of this toy line. I own, 4 or 5 of them? Quillfire, Paralon, Starscream, Fracture, Bisk, and Thunderhoof. And I own 2 of, the RID Autobots because I do not like those. I hate the Autobots in this toy line. They look lame. I mean, so far, that one of the coolest Autobots in this toy line is freaking Fix-It. All right, Legends Class Fix-It. Let's compare, okay? All right, Legends Class Fix-It is probably one of the coolest Transformers, or one of the coolest Autobots to come out of this toy line. And just look at him. This is this dinky little thing. He can he's got this cool waist articulation. Good shoulder. Head and neck. Look at that. Look at that happy face. Look at that happy motherfucker right there. This is the happiest Transformer I have ever seen in my life. He's just like, yay! I love life! And he's got the no hand syndrome, but, I mean, hell, that was commonplace in Beast Wars, so I can kind of forgive that. But how is this guy one of the coolest Autobots in the toy line, and yet I'm collecting all these Decepticons because they just infinitely are better than the Autobots in this toy line, with the exception of one other, which I'll get to the next episode. But yeah, so Bisk, he's a really cool Transformer. I've been wanting a toy of this guy since he first came out, like a deluxe, a good version of this toy, not the mini Legends class that are smaller than Fix-It here, and not like the oversized plastic bricks, but a decent deluxe class version of Bisk. And for one of the first Decepticons to come out in the series, he's shows up late within the second season of the show, or the toy shows up late within the second season, after you don't even see Bisk anymore. But anyway, I'm not entirely complaining. I do like this toy. As I said, in transformation, there are some finicky parts right here around this area when you're transforming him. You should just be a little bit aware of, be a little bit delicate with, because, as I've said before, Hasbro has been lacking in quality control. I have not experienced that problem with this guy, or in most of the figures, but you can kind of tell some of the plastic is a little bit thin in certain areas where it shouldn't be. But anyway, so that was my toy review of Bisk. I'm not ending on a joke or anything, that's Bisk. That's Bisk, baby. There you go, there's my joke.